Hello and welcome to the Murdered Oracle Q&A for the public. The public Q&As happen once every few months as we progress through the Murdered Oracle. There's a Patreon Q&A for the Necromancers United tier, which is $25 a month, which happens every month, and that's a live Q&A on Patreon. We currently don't have any patrons, so I'm going to do like some special videos for them in place of the Q&A just for now. Anyways, the first question is, what is the Murdered Oracle? And that's one that I decided to put on the question list myself. So you're no longer in your seat.
My seat was bothering me.
What is the Murdered Oracle? The Murdered Oracle is the story of Ember, the main character, who is a necromancer, although she does not know it at the beginning of the story, which is going to be very fun. And Aster, the Murdered Oracle. Aster, they're the Murdered Oracle. So they go on an adventure to avenge Aster's death, because Aster was murdered. And this is an animation that takes place in an alternate universe to our own. So it's basically Earth, but Earth named different because it has like a completely different history and stuff.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
What is Earth called?
Give me 1 second. I have the name down. So the world is called Gehenedre.
Ooh, I like that.
Thank you. And it's in the city of Serene, where Aster was murdered. Not where we start out, though.
Check this out. Gnawing at the bars of my enclosure.
Okay.
I can't even see what it looks like because I can't look out of my box. It won't let me. Alright, continue. I promise to behave this time.
Hey, just wanted to apologize for the audio in the next section of this recording. I do not know why it's cutting out, and I cannot re-record at this point. So, apologies about that. Now to the next question. Why did you choose to animate this story? This is by Double Four Designer on Blue Sky. And this one was a hard question to answer. Part of it is that I wanted to make an animation in general for a while. I just didn't have a story that I felt fit. But then, strangely enough, I had a dream. I don't usually dream when I sleep, so this is important.
Ooh.
It was like a vague dream. I don't remember most of it, but I remember there was like a murdered oracle that like possessed someone, and I was like, okay, but that would kind of like go hard as an animation.
Ooh, I mean, you're right. That would go hard as an animation.
And you know what? I figured, why not? I'm not like getting any younger. I'm not gonna be closer to an animation in 10 years if I don't do it now.
Exactly.
And then Pickle, right in front of me, asked me to give some niche lore. So, creatures and animals can use magic, and magic itself is weird.
Yes! Yes! Creatures using magic! Yes!
Yeah. This universe is created by a pantheon of gods, both with and without known names. Those gods each have an animal that is associated with them. Those animals can all do something based on said god's power. So, for example, moths can see and transport the souls of other beings. Humans have an easier time harnessing the powers bestowed by the gods to them, because they were kind of neutral ground amongst the gods, though they can be favored by specific ones, giving them more powers. So, like, while a moth can transport dead souls and most humans can't unless they're favored by the god of death, a funeral, according to the human's culture, does carry enough weight of, like, magic to help a dead soul pass over, though sometimes it's not enough to make the dead soul pass over. So, like, moths have, like, a bundle of energy, and they can use that to. We're gonna have magic be energy for a sec. So, moths have, like, this bundle of energy they can use to, like, help escort souls to the dead, and I'm really excited because, one thing that I want to do is, like, a moth goes by and then suddenly, like, it expands for the soul to and like
Ooh,
fly over to the afterlife, because that's essentially what happens. um
I see the vision.
but moths can't force souls to, like, do a whole lot. It's more like they're there to help them pass over to the afterlife once the soul is ready to, whereas humans are able to sort of, if they're favored by the god of death, specific for this one, are able to kind of force the souls to do what they want, depending on circumstances. It's very fun.
Nice. So it kind of sounds like a whole like warlock system, sort of, for like how the animals get it, because gods favor them, and then in return, um, the gods grant them powers.
For humans, sort of. So the gods will grant them powers if they favor them, yes. However, they also still can use, like, less than the animal's version of the magic to do stuff, if it's like, especially if it's like a cultural, like, ritual or something, versus like individually they wouldn't be able to do a whole lot. So let's use funerals as the example. If like you're burying a body alone, that's not enough to help the soul pass over in any, like, sense of the word. Versus at a funeral, like, there's typically a lot of people there, depending on your cultural practice and, like, how much you actually respected whoever died. That funeral will actually help the soul transition into the afterlife. However, it doesn't force them to, it just helps with that process.
Ooh, okay. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. And so basically humans individually, if they're not favored by the gods, have very limited a very limited magical supply because they're considered neutral ground, versus the gods, like, patron animal, like moths, will have an easier time escorting the dead to the afterlife um than a human mourning a friend. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if the human is favored by the god of death, then that human has more power than the moth.
Ooh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
And is that why the ghost of the oracle is able to stick around, because it says, "No, I got business to finish."
Yes, yes. So something that's very fun is, so ghosts will know how they died. But they don't know who, like, if they're murdered, they don't know who did it, even if they saw them saw the person do it. They don't
Yeah.
remember who did it. So, and also, they do get like some ghost powers like possession and stuff, but it only works those really favored by the god of death. Like they can't possess just anyone. It's very fun.
Yeah.
I've thought about
That's
this
why
a
someone
lot.
like an oracle. Yeah, that's why someone like an oracle could like refuse to pass on because like they're favored by the gods because they're an oracle.
Sort of. The for death, no one's forced to move on.